All right, folks, we're back with Daniel Hill, lifelong military, converted to Islam in the late 50s, fought the Mujahideen, with the Mujahideen against the Soviets, predicted the World Trade Center attack in 93 and in 2001. You also, real quickly, before we get to what you think is going to happen now, Daniel, you asked the FBI or the CIA in 98, I believe, to assassinate Osama bin Laden, and you were turned down. Who turned you down?
I was working through an agent in Jacksonville. It happened to be it started with a man, then it changed to a woman. She, of course, can't make any decisions. She set up the line. They come back and said no, because at the time it was against United States law for them to get involved in assassination.
What capacity was this woman? She worked for who?
She was an agent. She was an FBI agent.
Oh, an FBI agent. Okay, when you said agent. Okay. All right, now, you know, we just had a tape release today. We haven't heard it yet, but reportedly al-Zahawi, the second-in-command in al-Qaeda, released a tape. He references 9/11, and he warns Americans they always have to be aware. That, in conjunction with what I read that you have predicted, you believe we're going to be hit this year, and hit by al-Qaeda, and hit hard. Why don't you tell us what you think is going to happen and when?
Okay, well, of course, I start with all this stuff figuring out where the soft spots are and where I hit. You don't hit them where they're at, you hit them where they aren't, where they don't expect it. I figured the best way to hit the United States was from the air again, but this time with light private aircraft with limited nuclear weapons. And I spread it out from East Coast to West Coast and the Gulf of Mexico to the Canadian border, just to let them know that I had the capability to hit them anywhere, anytime I pleased. Main object behind it would be to break the will of the American people and make them force the government to get the heck out of Muslim lands. Then along comes a book called The Day of Islam. I forget the author. It was published by an outfit called Prometheus. And this guy claimed that they already had limited nuclear weapons in this country, that they'd been smuggled across the Mexican border into the United States around 1994, 1995. Then I researched further and talked with people I know in the intelligence community and found out the director of CIA had briefed Bush in 2004, 2005, Bush and Cheney, that they were here and they were capable of being used. One of the reasons that Cheney's having a fit now about security dropping so much. You
mean nuclear suitcase bombs?
These are supposedly 152 millimeter howitzer shells, limited nukes between 2 and 5 KT yield.
What would it mean if they dropped one, God forbid, on New York City? What would it mean?
They're not going to drop them. You turn it to point detonation, you can make it do an airburst. You fly over.
What would it mean if it? Well, yeah, you fly over, and what would happen? What would it destroy?
You hit it in the head with a sledgehammer. The thing goes off about 300 foot off the ground. It'll give you about a 1 mile radius that the fireball will burn the ground clean. For instance, if you put it over the mall of Washington D.C., you'll get the Capitol building, the Senate and House of Representatives executive buildings, the White House, the Treasury, part of the Pentagon. You'll get the
All right, Daniel, have you heard any chatter about this, and have you talked to the FBI and the CIA about this, or is this your theory?
Yeah, I've talked to them about it.
Have you heard this from anybody, or is this your theory?
I've heard it from people.
People being terrorist connections of yours, or
yeah,
who?
People that are very conservative Muslims that aren't terrorists themselves but are sympathizers.
And you think this is going to happen when?
I expected it either just before or just after Ramadan. Ramadan started in August, early August. It just finished. Sunday was the end of it. But I think it's imminent. I was surprised they didn't make the hit on the 9th of September when Obama had the joint session of Congress. That's when I'd have done it, right over the Capitol building and got them all.
What's been the response from the FBI and CIA that you've talked to?
Nothing. You give those people information. They don't give you anything back. They just take it, process it, and do whatever they do with it.
Do you think there's any significance to the al-Zahawi tape that we hear that's been released today? Do they usually release a tape?
When they start talking, they're getting ready to let you know you're about to get it.
Look, Daniel, all I could say is I hope to God you're wrong.
So do I.
I think your story needs to be told. I think you should be out there more, and I hope that this is the start of it for you. But I hope you're wrong, and they still talk to you, because I think your mindset, like you said, it's a good thing you're on our side. Thank you for taking the time with us, sir.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, too. God bless America.
All right. You're darn right. Daniel Hill, ladies and gentlemen. I told you it would be fascinating.
You've been listening to a podcast of The Steve Malzberg Show from 710 WOR HD, New York. For more information, please visit WOR710.com.